Hi, everyone. Welcome to Centered Healers. And today we are spotlighting the beautiful Nicola Light, and we are bringing her all the way across the big pond. I'm in Americas, and where are you at now, right now?
In this now moment, I'm actually in Sweden, but I actually come
Oh,
from the UK.
that's amazing. Um,
Yeah, so
so
to and fro in.
I know, right? Well, you're moving around helping so many people. So, like pinpointing you in one location, I would have typically said the UK, but I know that you have a lot of busyness going on helping and healing. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. The people that don't know, or this will be the
Hmm.
first time meeting you, could you fill us in on what you do, who you are, and how you got to the point of
Yeah, of
healing
course.
millions?
Thank you, Debbie Joe, for inviting me onto your channel first and foremost. And what a beautiful soul indeed, and a big soul sister. Um, and Debbie Joe's actually helped me many times, actually. We've had exchanges, but yeah, thank you for all that you do. So who am I? If you actually sort of like look at my ego mind, which pops up quite a lot, uh, doesn't it all the time? So my actual name's Nicola Russell, but I decided that I wanted to sort of shift out of the old Nicola into a new. So I took the name on as Nicola Light after a few sort of different changes of names, but I've sort of settled Nicola Light. So I sort of feel that that's, it is a bit dualistic, but
I think it's absolutely fitting and
that's the way
beautiful.
I'm heading. I'm
Yeah.
heading in the direction of the light.
Well,
so um so I assist people. So I assist people on their ascension, their movement into the light, whether it's through mentoring or assisting them with understanding their activated gift of light language. So it's my absolute passion, my absolute passion, we're going to say that again, is to master yourself and to be empowered to bring in your gifts of light. There are many people that are closet light speakers, and it does tend to get sort of suppressed within themselves. And then what happens is that the gifts that are within you don't work through you, and so hopefully I'll speak about that in a little while. But so it is my absolute passion to do that, and I have a YouTube channel called Nicola Light. So go have a little check of that out. Where I tend to work very intuitively, and I work through the experience rather than Debbie Joe sort of saying talking about a particular book. I don't tend to read anything. I don't tend to sort of get anything coming to my awareness until after the effect. So something happens, and I'm like, what did that? So I'm an experiencer. Then I then unpack it, and then I sort of move through the process. Um, but it started probably be, I'd say, about 12 years ago. Can't remember for the absolute sort of timings of it. But my journey started about then, and it started off kick-started with a bit of a trauma, like all of us. And then I went through meditation into energy work, and then I found myself to be where I'm at right now. So it's a little bit of a broad
it's so good.
idea
Well,
about me.
it's sort of kind of like there's no really right or wrong answer in that. And it's like because you
Mm,
you handle things in so many different ways, like with, the sessions that I've had with you, which have been earth moving, if I could say that and make any sense of it, because it's like you go straight to the heart of it, right? Like, when I did a session with you, it was sort of kind of like a little bit whoo, because it was just like I was exposed. It was just like you like kind of leaned in and you're like do 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 do, and I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, that was my little baby that I've been holding on to for so long. I was like, and now I have to let it go.
yeah.
There was,
This
there
this
was,
is this is how I work. Is
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how I work, is I literally get into your skin. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
like,
do. You
so
just like look through me like,
yeah,
Superman looks through X-ray eyes. And it was just like,
yeah.
wow. I was like, nobody knows that. How could she know that? So it was a very transmuting and it was very loving and safe and moving.
Thank
But at
you.
the same time, it can be very what help me with the word I'm looking for. It's all like exposed. Like you feel
Mm.
like you've been just exposed, and those are the like you looked at, like people talk about, oh, leave your skeletons in your closet. Well, in my session it was just like, nope, oh, she saw all my skeletons. So
Yeah, this is the thing, you see. I mean, if we look under the understanding of that, I am you and you are me.
right.
If I can energetically place my hand into your glove, shall we say,
Yeah.
then I become you. So whatever I see within myself at that point, I'm seeing you. So as we sort of blend our energies together, we allow ourselves to see what is blocking someone or, being apparent. But it's not coming from a mind perspective. And I think that's really sort of interesting. The way that I work is that I'm not thinking about any of it. And it's not to say that it's good or bad in any of that. It's just the way that I work. So I work from more of a pure channeled state because my Nicola doesn't know a jot. I just know how to clean my teeth in the morning and get myself dressed. Well, what the higher self, when I embody and co-create um my ability to come online, is coming from that higher level of consciousness. It's coming down and the intelligence is coming and running through me. So when I work with someone, it's very much in that line, is that the hand goes in the glove. We talk about what is seen within somebody's energetic field. And from there, the blocks will literally be dissolved or released within the system by the use of light codes. So that's how I sort of get into the skin, shall we say.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful, loving experience first and foremost. Never felt safer in my whole entire life. So
It's
if
hard.
if if anything I can experience in this or share with someone is that it's um I've gone to counselors a long time in my life, and like here or there, and have the chats and have the talks, and they lean in and how do you feel about that? And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I just need help with it, right? It was a very
Yeah.
beautiful energy that came through.
Thank you.
It was
Yeah.
very loving, and I felt like I had been hugged by the world, and it just was super yummy. So maybe this is
Mm.
to help people if they're skeptical or if they're unsure or if they're just not quite, in a place that it's a wonderful,
Yeah.
you have a modality of healing that is super just soothing. Like you feel like, yes, I had huge shifts in my energetic field, but even, me doing this from when I first met you, I would never have ventured to think that I would be interviewing or trying to figure out how I can spotlight people and share their gifts with the world, because we need people to find you and you need to find people to help them along their remembrance. So I know you know me at the beginning.
Mm.
I can be mute.
You could have been mute. Honestly, I don't think your mouth actually opened. You was just listening on the call.
Yeah.
Um, but that's perfect because the experience was experienced.
Mhm.
And that's absolutely okay. And I find myself actually saying is that you're either coming in from an old Debbie Joe of not speaking, not wanting to be present with people, and then the complete opposite. So within the templates, you either find that you're actually completely opposite, or you've always been like that. So I was very much like that. I didn't hardly speak to anyone, Debbie Joe. I was, and then I was sort of like talking to the cows come home. But it is, if any of your listeners are actually sort of looking at themselves and looking at us and thinking, oh, I'd like to. Yes. When I was first told I was going to do, for my high self, I was going to do a YouTube channel, I was like, am I really? I couldn't even look at myself on the telephone as I was doing a recording. How am I ever going to be doing a YouTube channel? That's ridiculous.
Yes. Right? I know. Like we could all
Mm.
probably, I think all of us though, energetically, they were like, okay, you want us to do what? Like, you have
Yeah.
this urge to go there. And I'm like, I've never done this. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm just kind of, sorting my way through, right? So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everything has to be with growth and understanding, but giving people like space to see that, you know, we all didn't start out there and we're all on our journey, right? And like, but we exactly the crawl, right?
Yeah. Not in footsteps, crawling.
I know some days I'm like, you want me to like, okay, I'm listening, but there's always the comma but, right? And from my ego side's perspective, it's like I always know if I hear a but, that's exactly what I have to go do
Yeah.
to overcome, to be able to move forward or however,
Uh,
because
yeah.
the procrastination is just emotionally what keeps you where you are. Because for me, it's kept me safe.
Mm. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so this is huge and new, and I'm super glad that you're here today to share the
Thank you.
experience and guide. So,
Thank you. I think the one thing that I want to sort of talk about is the word healer, if that's all right with you.
yes, I believe.
So, yeah, so in the very beginning of my journey, I used to think to myself, well, a healer is that, you would go to a healer and in one session, all sorted. Um, Not like that at all, is it? Um, there's a commitment in in the process and the journey, the crawl or the footsteps. And the healer, to me, it was, I saw a little poster and it said, you are not the healer of others, you heal yourself and you show people the way. I did it this way. Debbie Joe did it this way. How are you going to do it? And as facilitators, we assist people, whether it's mindset or whether it's energy flow, whether it's emotional state, whether it's physical body movement, however it is, it's the holistic practice of a presentation to say, I do it here, like this, of myself. So I heal me, you heal you, someone else heals them. And this is where we are then empowered. Because I think in the past that as the vibration is rising, it's shifting into a healer is somebody you go to every single month and they do it for you and you feel so, and then there's this. So what I'm saying is that it's really important for us to realize this process of that we heal ourselves, but we don't give any power away to anybody else. And with that journey, we can then start to see that we hold everything we need in us.
That's super great perspective. The remembrance of within.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all tucked away. It is. Just like a library full of information. You can go to a book with on a bookshelf, or you could go a book and download here during a meditative state. We awaken with the knowledge. We tap into high levels of consciousness as we draw it down and we don't hold on to anything. So we allow ourselves to see it as it flows through us rather than taking ownership of, I am this or I am that. You are
Mm.
not. You're an infinite sovereign being of light. And we just got to remember how to play the game and to manipulate energy within this matrix system so that we can create anything. And it's whether we have a struggle with relationships or money or whatever it is, there's an experience along the way that gently unfolds for us to see, how do we then create here? How do we create there? How do we create? And just by being here, we're doing so much. But the doing side of things is then, oh, okay, how can I start to be an alchemist of my reality? And that's exciting too.
That is very exciting. I think that that needs to be like covered in another video, like to keep the series going.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe yeah, it's a bit. All of these subjects are massive, though, aren't
I
they?
know, right? Like, I think that we need, like, I think you need to cover, like, we need to have pillars of subjects that we cover, like, to give insight and understanding and perspective, because it's always beautiful. So if we ended this
Yeah,
today,
yeah, no, definitely.
if we ended this today, what would you want people to know? Um, is there something that you want to leave them with? Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm being like led to ask, and like, Nicola, like, what would you leave us today with?
The main thing that I would leave you today with that, whether you crawl or whether you run or whether you jump or however you go through your journey, it's going to be perfect. And there are cycles within it that sometimes you feel that you are moving off like a rocket, and sometimes you're actually standing still. But every single moment that you are at within your healing journey or within your life, however you want to see it to be, whether you're like a sense of a 3D reality of Nicola Russell or a higher being of Nicola Light, is that every single perspective that you look at yourself is perfect because we're all perfect beings. So I'd like to leave everybody with that, is that when we judge ourselves, just look at that sense of perfection, and we're moving into that greater acknowledgement of really trusting
Mm,
and understanding and having faith in that you are perfect.
yes, you are. So thank you. Well, I am going to put in the description how people can reach you on
Thank
Facebook,
you.
YouTube, and your website so they can reach
Thank
out
you.
and book an appointment or follow you for more information. I know that you do on Facebook, you do daily light codes and activations and little kind
Yeah.
of like tune-ups on a daily. So those are always fun. And especially if you're having just one of those moments, we can like go back through your feed and be like, what resonates, and find it and just kind of sit with it and connect to your energy. And just, I know that there's been several times that I've done that just for
Uh,
um, just moment tune-ups. Like, okay, I'm getting in my way. Like, let me find Nicola's stuff for getting out of my way. And so there's always you. I love that you provide a way for people that can have the benefit of your gifts and your perspective and what you offer other people for like I call them like little mini tune-ups. Like I don't know how else to call them. I'm like, oh, I needed a Nicola tune-up, right? Like so I think that that's beautiful. Is there a place that people can send a love donation for you for those types of things so you can keep creating them, because I know that that's something that you're passionate about, is putting things out there to help people in moments of distress or need, or just starting
Thank
their
you.
journey that they could relate to.
Yeah, a love donation could be found a referral, a little link on my YouTube. So underneath all of the details, there's a donation link on there. The other alternative is a subscription, which is like a Patreon. I have a Patreon love donation, and also a membership on YouTube as well. So if anybody was sort of feeding into that. But yeah, there's plenty and plenty of free content for everybody. And then if you do want to step it up, I also have groups as well. So groups are really good to come to, because you get to know other people, and then there's obviously the energy exchange of one-to-one times and sessions. So
Oh,
it's I've sort of varied the whole thing to offer to people, as well as I'd like to mention a couple of light language courses on Udemy that are set at a really sort of low price. Higher Self has said no, keep it at that, because you're going to just help so many people. Um, so Udemy has two light languages: understanding, activation to understanding, and then also some light transmission coding courses as well that's available.
well,
So
I can
um,
speak to the Udemy course of the light language. So I took one of your light language courses, and it just
uh,
really gave me comfortability, right, with
yeah.
what I was feeling and how that was coming in, and how you describe it and how you talk through it is very, very, very well done. So I can speak as a
Oh,
person that
thank
has
you. Yeah,
taken
it's
that
taken a long
firsthand.
time to get the
That
information.
yeah, it's a really
Yeah,
good course.
yeah, it's a really good course. I've had lots of really good feedback on that, and I think it will help more and more people along the years to come, and I'll probably upgrade it the more that I understand it myself. So it's yeah, it's really beneficial, and then a lot of people then would go on to a mentoring to have a greater understanding. I've got like an 8 month program where I go through 8 different subject matters and really go into depth with light language, about self-healing and breath work and body movement and things like that. So it's all there. It's all available. I'm of service.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we want to do anything that we can to support you along your life journey and
Thank
your
you.
future, right? Because you bring so much to this world as a whole. Like, we by chance just kind of bumped into each other through a random person and then just started working,
Mm.
periodically over, I guess, a year now. It's been a year, roughly around a year. And
Is
so,
it?
yes, it's been a year. Like I know, like
It
so
feels like lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes, doesn't it?
I
You
know
get this sort of resonance of the soul brothers and sisters coming in. You're like, I know you.
you. Like we know each other. I know, and it's only been a year, but it's still been a year
Wow.
on this linear timeline that we exist in. So
Amazing.
I know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'll make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with you in the description.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here today. And I'm so
Thank
very
you.
blessed that you came on and supported Centered Healers in our
Okay.
journey to bring people like you to the masses.
Fabulous.